Thank you very much, Richard. Let me also thank Reverend Orlando. That's a new spin on the name. Orlando Wright for the invocation, the blessings that you have caused to come down on us today. Thank you very much. We're here today because of a compelling story. A compelling story that was circulated virally throughout Jamaica and indeed overseas. And that story captured the attention of Jamaicans. But it did more than that. It also questioned our moral standards. We asked ourselves, was it right for this family to live under such conditions? And it caused us to look at ourselves as a country, as a people, and it really affected us. And there was such an outpouring, Madam Member of Parliament Carencia, such an outpouring of support from all over Jamaica and from people from all walks of life, and including our diaspora, who wanted to help, who wanted to contribute, to the point that I dare say there was some competition to assist. It appeared even at some point in time that some may have tripped over themselves in rushing to the scene to assist. And unfortunately in these matters, there is always a claimant of paternity. Who started it? Who should claim the benefit from it? And I was worried for a bit that the circumstances would have been overshadowed by those who were trying to make something of their charity. In these matters, charity, and the definition of it, is that you give without seeking anything in return. So it is the receiver that receives the attention, and the giver stays in the background. For that reason, when I saw it in the papers, and I got quite a number of messages, why am I not going to visit? Why I don't go? I have to also analyze the situation and say, would I be adding any value in presenting myself there, when really the value that is needed is for the approval of the benefit and let the system work to deliver it. And so the Member of Parliament was contacted. She did her due diligence. She came, she made sure that the situation was genuine, because there are many situations being circulated. Some of them are not genuine, so we have to check them out. It was sent to our new social housing program, and then they went and did their own verification of it. Before we give any benefit whatsoever, even when it is recommended by the Member of Parliament, we do what we call a social survey. And that social survey is done very thoroughly, and it is then sent to an oversight committee. And we have with us here Mrs. Judith Rob Walters, the head of the oversight committee. Let me say that the oversight committee is not headed by a political person. It is headed by a very senior technocrat and civil servant in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. She is our principal financial officer, and she makes sure that every cent is properly accounted for. Right? So when we run this program, there is no one can say that anything gone elsewhere. No one can say that. every dollar that is allocated is right here. But more than that, the people who benefit from it deserve it. Right? So we made sure to do that. And I give you another part of it as well. So when the story of Delano took off, as it did, and everybody was, coming to the assistance, we looked at the entirety of the situation and we were trying to figure out what would be the best way to assist the family. And it was clear that the best way was the home. But the challenge, and I want you to just put yourself in my shoes for a little bit and think about the hundreds of other cases like Delano, which come to my attention daily. Why should I give Delano over everybody else? You see that question of fairness? Maybe because somebody did make a video of the other 99. So governments can't just act out of emotion. Right? Governments have to always, in everything they do, think about, is this action fair to everyone? So we looked at it and we said, Delano's story is compelling, Delano is deserving, and there are other youngsters who are equally deserving. But we can assist Delano. You know why? Because we have put in place a program. So the assistance is not just one-off to Delano alone. This is going to be the 84th house that we are giving out under this program. Since the program has been established, we have assisted 84 families. It's more than 84. And we'll do a proper tallying because we're doing houses all over. But that we have handed over now. So the other 99, and I'm just using that as a figure, not the exact figure, that's just figuratively. The others who are waiting for the benefit can have hope that their circumstances will also be attended to. So when I come to these events and I see the audience gathered and I'm reading the faces, in the back of their minds as well, I can see some people say, "Walk to me." Yeah. When is my house coming? Yes, and I know. So one of the things that we try to do while we have these ceremonies is for the community to appreciate, one, that the beneficiary was fairly selected. Yes. The beneficiary was deserving of it. Yes. That there is a program in place. This is not just a one-off. That it might take a little time, but we will come to you eventually, because the intention of the program is to be able to address the worst living conditions in communities right across Jamaica. So when you look at the before picture and you look at that condition, I'm sure we all agree that nobody in Jamaica should live in that condition. I'm sure we all agree that nobody in Jamaica should live in that condition. Now, we launched the census yesterday. And the census takers are going to be coming around into your communities. And a part of the census is to determine the quality of housing that exists. So they are going to be asking questions about your house. Don't feel any way about it. Give them the information. Because that information will help us in our budgeting process now. So we'll know exactly how many people we need to help, how much money we need to put aside, and how long it will take. Right now, we don't have all the data. And so we are responding sometimes based upon what the MPs bring to us and what come in the press. But that's not the best way to do it. The best way. Yeah, so as I was saying, the best way to do it is to have all the data that you need. It looks like I'm disconnected. But you can hear it. You hear me now. So the best way the best way to do it is to have all the data up front. And the census will give us that data so we can properly plan. So I'm urging you, when the census takers come around in September, they'll start about September the 12th, thereabout, that you provide them with the information so that we can pick up all of these houses and make a plan to remove that kind of shelter from Jamaica. We want people to be living in much better standard of shelter than that. And therefore, as you are gathered here, I want to give you the assurance that this is not just a one-off intervention. Right? So as part of the social housing program, we will address these situations right across Jamaica. All right, so let me address now the program itself. The program is designed in such a way that the beneficiary is given the house. The government of Jamaica is giving you this house. But it is really all of these people here who are gathered, it is their tax money. So it is not free. It is the collective consciousness of everyone who agrees that no one should live in these circumstances. You have elected a government to address that, and the government has basically said that we're going to reserve some of our revenues, the taxes that we earn, to address this situation. And based upon a process of selection, you have been given this benefit. But there are some things that you are obligated to do. You must now become an ambassador of hope. You must become now, a beacon of good living and a beacon of good citizenship in your community. I am certain, based upon what I've seen of Delano, that he's going to do great things for this country. I'm only now just learning of his equally studious sister, who will also do great things for this country. So I'm confident that this small investment will be repaid multiple times over by their contribution and what they will do for their country. I want to encourage a family to stay together, keep working hard, and keep being an example. Right? So, with other programs going forward, when we are handing over some of the houses, we are now going to introduce a new element in that the beneficiaries will be required to sign what we call now a social contract. A social contract, meaning that they agree to first and foremost take care of the house. Because we have given out houses before and some people take them and rent them. Yes, not under this program, because this program is run differently. But governments have given housing benefits before, and then when we go back to check on it, the beneficiary didn't really need it. And they take it and rent it out. And that was the intention. The intention was to make sure that somebody who could not afford to pay rent get the benefit. Secondly, we want to ensure that the beneficiary's family continues to benefit from the house even if the beneficiary passes on. Why? Because this intervention is designed to break what we call intergenerational poverty. Right? Now, I don't like to say people are poor. So, Delano's parents and your parents might have grown up under poor circumstances. But there is no reason whatsoever why Delano should be poor and his sister should be poor. None whatsoever. The whole entire objective of you as parents looking out at your children is to end poverty for them. Is to break that cycle of poverty. So the role of your government is to put in place the policies and programs to help you as parents break that cycle of poverty. So this is an asset now that should break poverty in this family going forward. That is what it is designed to do. And so you have to commit to me now, not to me, but to the people here. That if your family is going to progress. That this asset is going to help you. So if you used to study on the lamp, on the bare floor, at least a little bit better now. You might have a desk and electricity and so forth. Right? It is about breaking that intergenerational cycle. And the other thing is, today we did an official report on the National Commission for Violence Prevention. We have a problem with violence in the society. And the violence is tied up with our culture and our history, but it is also tied up with our poverty. And the poverty leads to a high level of frustration. And sometimes, you're hungry, you're angry, and your child will make up noise and you end up, we understand. But we need to stop it. So, when we give you this benefit, we want you not to be promoting violence in any way, any shape, any form in your community and in your household. We also want you to participate in the life of the community, to help others, to counsel others, to be a positive force in the community. So that is the social contract that we will ask the beneficiaries to sign on to. And the program will develop its own monitoring mechanisms where we will be tracking those persons who have benefited to see exactly how they have utilized this house to change their lives and that of the community. This is not free, and you are going to pay for it by being good examples and good citizens. Basically, that is the idea behind the social contract. Of course, all of these houses that we're building, we also have the environmental protection and promotion component. So we are going to be planting trees, but from what I see, you don't need any tree. I pass here and I see some lovely ote apple and all kinds of fruit trees around here. So we may have to borrow some trees from here and plant them elsewhere. Right? But this is a well-fruited and lovely and cool area. Right? So with those comments, I want to celebrate with the family. Say how happy I am that you are able to have this benefit. It is well deserved, and I know it will go a far way in improving your quality of life. God bless you, and thank you all for listening. You have been a lovely and wonderful audience.
Thank you, Prime Minister. And at this time, I invite Mr. Delano Tucker and Ms. Beatrice Tucker to move the vote of